Japan has 9 million abandoned houses. Most people just drive past them, feel a little bit sad and move on. We stopped, knocked on a door, and now somehow own one. This was not the plan. We moved to the Japanese countryside in 2025, thinking that we would renovate Yukari's grandmother's house. That did not happen. So we did what we always do when life falls apart. We built a campervan and drove away. But a Japanese winter in a tiny car will break you. And when I promised to join a local festival in Yukari's hometown, we came back. And this time we actually stopped in front of the house that we have passed 100 times, but never have considered. Well, and we went in, but didn't leave. So this is what a community center in rural Japan for $3,000 looks like. This was 3 months ago. Pretty amazing. So not only did Yukari's father build this house, and he's been a carpenter all his life, but he also helped us building this roof here. So before building it, actually everything was exposed and there was no protection from the rain to the window. And also, before we bought the house, originally there was a roof here. But because it was crazy windy one day, it had to be removed. Because he's the one who first chose which wood to use, ordered it at the local wood place, and prepared it in his workshop, where he did the cuttings and measured everything. And on the day we assembled it, everything was perfectly prepared.
何このカメラは自分の誰娘の
ビデオ撮んだ
もうちょっと。
はい、向こうに乗ってこう穴入れて
はい。
あ、すいません。すごい。水がいっぱい入ってるから。
滑ったら落っこっちゃうぞ。
本当に落ちないでね。
I think part of making it so nice and now looking at it and being like really happy with it is that we did it together. We often have the problem that we cannot decide, so it takes a longer time. But when having someone who's been doing this for a long time,
たるきの上にちょっと流すから。
the decision making is very quick. And that makes the whole process so much more quick.
はい、どうもありがとうございます。いえいえ、ありがとうございます。
It's kind of a different feeling, no? It just feels like really comfortable suddenly. Yeah, it's like a little extra room, kind of. We haven't installed a proper thing for drying the clothes, but we can hang this rope here and dry our clothes. And I've been able to attach something I wanted to have for a long time, which is a pull-up bar. And also, one thing we did together with Yukari's father is we actually lifted the house a little bit because we weren't able to open some of the doors because I think because of some earthquakes in the past, it kind of moved a little bit, so it was lower in that place.
Mm-hmm.
So we removed the tatami mats, we removed the wood, we went under the house and we filled up the gaps with some concrete and some wooden pieces, and now it's nice and straight.
あ、これいっぱいだ。
あ、いっぱいだ。
That was also a very nice experience, I think. And even though everything seemed to be pretty simple, you would have still needed the experience to be brave enough to actually remove the floor and have a look underneath. And also, in the beginning, we both didn't know that it's actually got lower here. And he immediately, when he came, he recognized that and said that it was necessary to do. So this is basically the first job we did together.
最高。
So when we moved into the house, all we had was a pit toilet. And if you don't know what this is, you could consider yourself lucky, I guess. Even though I must say that it was an experience, and it makes me appreciate the new toilet even more. The toilet was actually just a hole in the ground and a big tank. So every time we went to the toilet, you do your business, you put the toilet paper, and you just leave the room. That's it. That's what it is. Or should I say more? Right. And sometimes when we had like guests coming over, I wouldn't say like we were embarrassed to let them go on the toilet. I guess but it kind of like yeah, it's so standard, it's so normal to have like a flush toilet nowadays, right? And after living with this tank for a few months, we now have a proper sewage connection, which is here now. And you can see some of these things here, where you can check the water, and then the water goes from the kitchen and the toilet room and the bathroom to the main street over there. And the nice guys who came and did it for us put pipes into the ground which are 49 meters long, so that everything flushes into the government sewage. Hey, what do you...
酒も入れた。
あ、さっきも入れた。
飲んだ。
うわ、何が入ってる？
やだ。
鳥？
鳥？
怖い、びっくりした、びっくりした。
鳥？鳥だよ。
本当だ。
ずっと鳥。
今日お昼焼き鳥。
最高。It's time to do the piping. And it's our first time also, but there's always a first time for everything. So what we have done, we have made holes and we've been digging a little space for the pipes first. The difference is crazy from having just a hole in the ground to having like a multifunctional super toilet.
Hello.
You can like just flush, you can like wash your hand, you can put hot air on your hand, you can basically change the temperature of the water that cleans your hand. You can open like from here, you can put like soap water for cleaning. There's like many different things and settings, and we haven't really been focusing on setting it up. All I know, it's just an amazing experience. In Japan, like one of the cheapest toilets we would get, which is one of the older models of like two of the main manufacturers or the main companies producing toilets, it costs around $400. But that's like the cheapest one. And then the nice ones, the nice looking ones, which is kind of like getting more similar to this kind of, 1,000 euros.
Yeah.
1,000 euros. So we went on Amazon and we found this company producing these toilets, and they are shipped here. They came in time. They look very clean. They work just as well as any multifunctional toilet. It's amazing like how many features are in this little space. It has a sensor for when you sit down, that it knows that you sit down. It's kind of like pre-washing when you sit down. It automatically flushes. It changes the temperature of the seat depending on how hot you want it. So in winter when you sit down, you have a hot sitting place. You can open the toilet by kicking on the bottom where there's a little button. It automatically opens when you come in. But for now, we have a toilet.
Hello.
It's probably, it's when I say toilet. Yeah, okay, crazy. We have to learn more, I guess, about our little friend. I'm gonna put the link in the description for people who live in Japan and are interested into buying a multifunction toilet without spending a hell lot of money. I know like a hot water setup sounds like really basic and almost everyone has it, but for us it wasn't, and we had only cold water. This water is ice cold. So now having this setup here is an amazing feeling, right? So this is actually the outside unit, but I'm going to show you what we have done inside and how it looks when you actually use it. But that's what makes the water hot. A wooden plate that we're gonna use for making a new kitchen. So I'm always a fan of reusing things. So we were reusing the old hinges. And they are really nice actually, they're easy to attach. You can't really see them and they do what they are supposed to. It's time to finally change the kitchen.
Oi.
So this is the kitchen space, and we've been updating a few things. Normally kitchens in Germany are a bit higher. This kitchen island now has the original stove installed. We kept it because we thought it looks really nice and kind of vintage and kind of like just fits into it very well. And it's connected now and we can use it, which is pretty amazing. This is the tap, right? It seems to be like a normal tap, but compared to the one we had before, these are two different worlds. Not only do you have space now to actually wash dishes and the chopping board and everything, but also you have different settings. So that's really a life-changing thing, right, to have. It just makes life so much more easy, right? Like if I remember in January washing like dishes with the cold water, or washing your face in the evening, makes a big difference in everyday life. Yeah, I'm looking forward to wash the dishes now. So this is actually just the beginning. There are lots of things that we are planning to do in the future, and we are figuring it out while being on the journey of making this place better and better. Even though we are pretty happy right now already, if you want to follow along, you know what to do.